Hello, it's Twinkle Butt, and it's been a while. It's been a really long while, actually. I just haven't really gotten around to it. I forgot what we did on the last episode. Oh yeah, now I remember. We broke in, we saved our Technomancer buddies, and we did some side quests, of course. And now we're back in abundance to do some more side quests.
I've seen that look before, Nisha. It's a look of revenge. I know all about hatred, scorn. But believe me, it isn't the wisest place to draw motivation.
You're right. But these questions have been buried far too long.
Your mind has been set. I respect that. We'll go and dig up your answers. But heed my warning. No amount of dirt will satisfy you.
That was fucking weird. What is dirt? Oh. Okay, now I... okay. Ah, I got it. Well, let's pick this lock. And one thing... I've already gone through abundance, and this is the problem with the second chapter, is that a good bit of the side quests you have to go through abundance. And like I keep saying, you want to try to optimize the amount of time that you can spend in abundance to do as many quests as you can, because it's a pain in the ass going back and forth. We don't even really need the items at this point. We're just here... Oh, I took a wrong turn. We're just here because the story is kind of driving us in this direction. Maybe this way? Alright. So yeah, right now our build has really come together and we have fucking insanity when it comes to our lightning bolts. Like, we are just a power storm.
Who are you? What the fuck are you doing here? This is private property and you have no business here.
We don't give a damn about your warehouse. What we want are answers, and like it or not, you're gonna talk.
Alright, let's see just how many people I can line up in one lightning storm. Okay, that's pretty good. I'll take it. Wow!
I'll tell you what you want to know.
Very well. You're the one who used to turn in people who were an obstacle to the ASC, right? The one who was sending innocents to rehabilitation camps?
No, look, it's way more complicated than that. Yeah, sure, I was in charge of making up evidence back when proof was needed to frame some of them. But with the ASC out there headhunting, now all you gotta do is send an anonymous letter to get someone deported. But most of the time, it wasn't I who was in charge of deciding who had to leave. We would get together and present those who might threaten us. It wasn't a single man's decision. Anton wasn't our chief yet.
Not most of the time, but it happened. You sent a bunch of street kids straight to a camp, and I don't see what threat they represented, so? Why? Personal vengeance? What the hell did they do to you?
Nothing, but a girl from that gang came to see me. She told me that another kid had overheard us, and she wanted to turn us in. It was believable. And since that snot-nosed kid could have talked about it with his gang, I turned in the whole group.
You're lying. It doesn't make sense. None of us would have turned in someone in the group.
I know what I'm talking about. Why would I lie to you? The kid, I think her name was Gloria.
You lie! Gloria would have never done anything like that, you son of a... You're gonna die, scumbag.
We are the happy people, so we just beat the shit out of people and maim them for life. We don't kill them. We just, like, beat the shit out of them.
Nisha, I understand your anger, but killing him won't give you back your years spent in a camp. Come on, leave him alone and let's go.
That guy's a monster, Zach. He used the most sinister characters of our corporations and manipulated them to get rid of poor innocent people. But you're right. This won't give me back what he took from me, nor what he took from others. I'll follow you.
I know you prefer for us to shut it, but Nisha, do not let such new questions torture you for even more years. This time, find your answers quickly.
It can't be. I can't.
So if you don't know what he was talking about there, he was saying you need to figure out what's going on with Gloria. And why would he say something like that? I'm not sure, but we're going to find out more about that after we pick this lock and as we continue further down her story. So we got that knocked out. What did I do? While I was off screen, I sold a lot of trash that I picked up. I upgraded Andrew's staff, and this is actually a big difference. I said for your NPCs, and I stand by this, you want to make sure that you upgrade your you want to upgrade your... What's it called? Hold on. Now this is bothering me. Your disruption chance as high as possible, because it's kind of like a self-defense and an offense thing. Because you don't know when they're going to swing, and they don't always swing at the safest times, so you want to make it so when they do decide to swing, they have the highest chance of interrupting the enemy, so they can either swing some more or just not get hit. With Andrew, I gave him the damage upgrade to his staff. And the only reason I did that, like just being pure honesty, is because I thought it looked cool. Like, I looked at the upgrades and I was like, that looks pretty rad. And in all honesty, the cool thing about a staff is that because you have 3 upgrade slots instead of 2 like you do with most weapons, you can really do a lot of different things with it.
You need to be mindful of what you're doing.
But let's taste these guys.
Make the slightest
You know what? I don't even care. I'm not even wearing my armor, and I'll take care of you. And look at all the critical hits we're chaining together. That guy actually did us a favor. I think we just one-shot that guy. Alright, let's put our armor back on. So yeah, later when I get a different staff room, I'll probably go for disruption. But right now, it really doesn't matter what upgrades we go with. And speaking of upgrades, I was looking at the Void Jacket and I realized this Void Jacket right here, if we wanted to, we could bring it up to 17, which would make it actually a really good, pretty decent piece of armor. Which I might do, but I don't really need it yet, so I'm not going to. Maybe later. And to be honest, the reason why we can afford to get such good armor is because of our really high crafting. Like, you really want to invest in crafting, because that's... Without it, like, your gear is kind of gimped. You really need to be able to put those upgrades to get the extra little bit of effectiveness out of it. And you'll see, like, level 1, it didn't make that much difference. But when we get to level 2, you can already see, like, the big difference it's doing. Like, armor, like the full officer shirt that we have some of our people wearing, it has a normal, I think a normal physical resistance of like 11, 12, or 13, and we can bring it all the way up to 19. So we almost double how much physical resistance it has. And later on, when we need those other bonuses, we can get them through crafting. So it is extremely important to make sure that you have high crafting and you have high exploration to get a lot of money so you can pay for all the components you're going to need for crafting. That is by far the biggest tip. Like, if you wanted to, you could try a stealth run. Like, I think it would just be frustrating. And even in the best situations, we don't need the stealth because we can kick everyone's ass. And even when we get into a fight where we're going to take hits because of our good gear and armor, we can afford to take those hits. But if you're playing a stealth run, you know, if you get into a fight that you can't taser your way out of by sneaking up on them and zapping them, well, all those stealth points are just wasted. And, you know, they're not going to help you in boss fights or cinematic things.
Hi. Hello there, Mr. Mancer. Good to see you.
How have you been coping?
Oh,
It's not me. Problem
whoops.
It's just
We already talked about this. Here we go.
What did you learn?
I was able to get some answers for you.
Great. I knew you would. Go on, what did you find?
Keep names out of this. Be clear.
Of course. Our sources are always protected. Go on.
According to my source, the Army's reducing its troops by 50%, and the official reasons are the rising rates of desertion, the number of Technomancer arrests, and the shrinking size of the standing force during peacetime. But she says this doesn't explain everything, as many good officers and soldiers are being let go without reason, and replaced by members of the ASC. In fact, the fear is, if the ASC attempted a coup today, the Army couldn't stand in the way, because there are too many ASC entrenched in its ranks.
That's terrifying. And it's news that'll hit the hearts of people in this city. All the people with soldiers and their families, soldiers who fought hard, now being fired only to make room for spies. What else did you find out?
I talked to an expert on corporation politics who had first-hand knowledge about Aurora and us.
And how'd he say Abundance lost?
Aurora's troops were led by a general named Wisdom, who used Technomancers. And apparently they've got a lot more than we do, especially recently.
So Abundance arrests and detains you and your brothers, our greatest weapons, and fall because of it. Guess that's karma.
But what's more, they rallied the common people, recruited local and national militias who were feverishly motivated by the promise of gaining a voice on Aurora's council. Aurora became the first corporation to empower its people to fight. So while Aurora brought everyone together for the war, strengthening their numbers, Abundance fought weakened, bleeding their ranks, arresting its own Technomancers. Our army, well-trained and well-equipped as it is, didn't stand a chance. We lacked the Technomancers to lead the charge and the motivation of Aurora's militias to persevere.
That's incredible. By giving power to the people, Aurora all but assured its victory. The power of unification is real. And the self-sabotaging nature of our government ruled by paranoia and fear cost us the war.
I also talked to a mutant who heard about the camp breakout and the mutant who led it.
Fantastic. And?
The mutants in that camp were living in hell, day in and day out. They'd finally just had enough. So one day, a guard was beating on a mutant too tired to work. As much as the others pleaded, the guard wouldn't stop. So another mutant stepped in and hit him back. The guards threatened to kill 10 mutants in retaliation. And that lit the fuse. With the help of a prisoner from Aurora, the mutants got their hands on some tools, and the riot started. They weren't trying to escape. They just wanted the abuse to stop. But the way the guards reacted made the mutants fear that it would only get worse. So they got out, led by a mutant named Scum, who's now a bit of a legend among them.
And where'd they go?
I can't tell you that.
Fair enough. You need to protect your sources, right? Another story that people need to hear. It's what happens when you mistreat beasts long enough. Eventually, they'll turn on you. Thanks for all the information. Once I write the articles and get them out there for people to read, I think that people are gonna have a wake-up call about how different the truth is from the propaganda their government's feeding them.
Hope it makes a difference.
You and me both. The real change has to start with the truth. Hold on. I've got one more thing to ask of you, if I could. One more thing to really make sure we can ignite some change.
And what's that?
We put our news on the city walls. The man who's been doing it for us lives in the exchange. Getting there, though, has honestly gotten too dangerous for us.
So you want me to be your delivery man?
A deliverer of truth to those who have been starved of it, yes. If you would do that for us.
Yeah, I can do it for you. I'll see you later.
Okay, so we are gonna go. We're basically what we're doing is we're delivering the sketches for him to stencil onto walls. So I'll just ramble while we walk over there. I feel like as long as we can, like at this point, keep in mind that this is the highest difficulty. If we can line up our enemies in the right spot, this lightning storm can basically just one-shot them. And you've seen it. You saw it happen. Like these were like mid-tier level Abundant soldiers. Now those aren't the strongest enemies that we're going to be fighting, and they're not even the strongest enemies that we're going to be fighting in this chapter. But we have power, man. Oop. Speaking of that, let me see how good of a. Oh, this is going to be a good one. But it's not ready. Okay. Okay, we're going to go in this corner. Combat is basically devolved into how I can line up the best lightning storm. And look, like literally, it just wiped out those three guys. And, you know, oh, I don't want to go in there. I guess we're going in there. Let's get out of there. We're not even at full power yet. I mean, we have one more big upgrade and then a lot of small upgrades that we can get our hands on. I think pretty soon at this, the benefit of Phobos is that he gives us a lot of carrying capacity. So it's not, while he's in our party, it's not really a big deal. But I might even, I'm not sure. Like you want to keep investigating these guys because you could always use more money. and they may or may not drop something useful. But for the most part, we've gotten everything out of them that we can. The only thing that really helps us is getting more health and focus injections. But I never really talked about the reason why I'm using this armor set. And the reason, I mean, right now it's got an 18 in physical resistance, which is the second highest that we can get, like, period, for this point in the game. And it's got really, really high disruption resistance. And the reason why that's a big deal is because you'll notice when we do the lightning storm, we are very, very vulnerable to getting shot or hit from the side. And if we don't have that disruption resistance, it's very easy for the bad guys to just like get one shot off that ruins our whole lightning storm. And once you start casting it, once that first like beam of electricity comes out of your hands, if you stop at any point, either because you used another action to cancel it or you get disrupted out of it, the whole thing goes on cooldown. So it's very, very important if you're using this ability that you're wearing armor that has disruption resistance. And even to the point where later on, when I switch to a different set of armor, I might add disruption resistance in there just for that. Now, it won't make a difference for the final boss fight. And that's because the final boss fight I haven't really talked about that much. It's a one-on-one fight. So it doesn't matter so much about... It's very different than the kind of fights that we're doing here, where it's more about group combat and keeping your distance. But we'll talk about that when we get to it. For now, we have a really powerful build, and it's only going to get more powerful. And then honestly, once we put that last point into our Psystorm, I'm not sure what we're going to do. Like, you get an achievement for maxing out and buying every point in a tree, so I might do that, because even though it's not the most efficient, like, even I like achievements. And for the most part, almost all the points that we spent so far have been useful, some less than others, but useful. And we've avoided the only one that's really useless is that electric fist ability. And even then, if we buy the upgrade for it, we might be able to find some use out of it, but probably not. But even then, it's only a couple points. I'm not sure. We might just go straight to upgrading our dagger and gun tree, because that's the next step. And sometimes, if enemies are really split up like this, you're better off just I was gonna say you're better off just using single target lightning storm, because with our new ability that we got, that passive ability, if we kill people with our lightning arcs, it drops that little energy circle on the ground. And using that, we can recharge our energy and basically go from target to target and just keep zapping them. It's really fun and really powerful. So, it's a good idea. And once we finish this, hopefully it ends the quest. I don't have to turn around yet again and go talk to that guy, and that just talking to this guy will finish it. Please be the end of my journey.
Hello. I brought back some articles to hang around your city.
Keep your voice down. Quiet. Tell our mutual friend that soon we will be hanging on every other wall in the city.
How are you gonna make that happen?
I'll make stencils of the text and then go around the city with volunteers and hit every wall we find. Soon, everyone in Ophir will know the truth.
Alright, it's done. We got the experience, and we don't even have to worry about going back to turn it in. So we got that final upgrade, and so we are going to put all the points into this, and now we're going to get the final big damage upgrade, and we're going to increase the attack damage by 25% yet again, so we're just going to completely destroy everything. And so the only things that we haven't put points into, Electric Fist. Obviously, we talked about this. We can make it better. We haven't put points into this because that's Electric Fist as well. And we haven't put points into the electric weapon upgrade, although that is far from a useless upgrade. Like, it won't affect our gun, but it'll affect basically everything else. And if we were to put a point here, I'd put it into critical, because then that's just another 6% of extra critical damage on top of our already impressive critical range. Let me see if I can find some enemies to zap. Why does it say new level? Oh, right. So new talents. There's 2 of them. Okay, I've been neglectful. So we are going to put a point into science. And what that's going to do, the reason we're doing this is A, I can't remember if science comes up, but if it does, at least we have that point in the bank. And B, right here, greatly increases life regeneration outside of combat. This is a luxury point, but it's a very amazing luxury point. It's one that is going to save us from a lot, and I do mean a lot of pain. And now at this point, we're pretty much free to spend the points as we please. With the bonuses we're getting from our companions and from our items, we effectively have a 3 in traps and lockpicking, a 3 in exploration, and a 3 in crafting. And those are the 3 big ones, and a 3 in charisma as well. So at this point, it's up to you to put the points wherever you want. And what I advise is putting it with the teammates that you think you're going to be spending the least amount of time with in your party. So for us, I really like Andrew, and I really like Nisha. So that means Amelia is going to be spending the least amount of time. So we're going to invest in crafting. Now we don't even need her because we've got that chest piece that we can put on to boost our crafting to level 3. So we don't even need her in the party. Like, fuck her. She's gone. She's Felicia. I don't even know who she is. Now let's see if we can get these guys to line up for us. And we can get a really good... Okay, that's pretty good. Wow! Way to steal my thunder, guys. Fuck you. Alright. I guess we can do this the other way. Uh-oh. Did I bite off more than I could chew? Oh crap, yes I did. It's these guns. And the fact that our armor ran out. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, see? And this is why it's on the hardest difficulty, because you drop your guard once and really bad things are going to happen. Now, to be fair, I was cheated out of the whole thing my build is built around, so a little salty about that, but what can you do? So, I believe, let me talk to Phobos.
Zachariah, your help would be indispensable.
Okay, so now we've triggered his side quest. Luckily, it is not in abundance. So I think we're done with abundance for Chapter 2, which is amazing.
I'm listening.
First, I want to thank you for helping me, my mother, and all the mutants.
I don't really feel like I helped your mother, but if you say so.
Sometimes you have to look beyond appearances. I miss her a lot, but at least she did not suffer thanks to you. But let's get back to what I wanted to talk about with you. I managed to get in touch with a man who can provide us with military equipment. And we are going to need it because we have to be able to defend ourselves. But that man will never do business with a mutant. That is why I need you to negotiate in my place. If you wanted to look like a merchant from Noctis and go to the meeting point with me, I'm sure that he would agree to sell you the surplus we need so much.
Of course we're gonna help him. I mean, it's Phobos.
That doesn't sound too complicated. I guess I can do it.
Thank you. We will never forget what you did for us, Zach. Come join me when you find a merchant outfit, and we will go to the meeting point together. It is below a shadow path. I will show it to Amelia.
Okay. So, finish. Okay. So we got to go get a Noctis merchant overcoat, which that one merchant in Noctis sells all the uniforms we could ever worry about. So, luckily, not a big deal. Now we're gonna go straight to the import zone, and we are going to. What I'm gonna do here is I am going to cut it off, and then I'm going to cut back once we've sold off some of this extra equipment, and once we have, I'm going to go back to the black mole area. So that area is going to be just, well, actually, no. You know what? No. There's a reason I'm waiting, and it's a good reason, but I can't tell you because it'll spoil things. I'm already spoiled a lot, so we're going to hold on to that one, but Anyway, I'll meet you back when we're in abundance. I mean, not abundance. Fuck abundance. I'll meet you back when we're in Noctis. Guys, I looked at the time, and to be honest, there is enough content in this video already that this would be a great stopping point. So, when I return, we will continue doing, of course, Technomancer, more side quests. That should be the name of this game, Sidequests. But anyway, thank you for watching. It's been fantastic having you here. I am Twinkle, and I hope you have a great day.